What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Wizards Outlook. Kind of the first one to really kick the season off. The last time we talked to you guys in search of Wizards Outlook was, around draft time. We got Cardell Dudley Jr. here today. I'm Wilson Tarpey Jr. Cardell, as you guys can see in his background, currently at Capital One. Media Day's kicking off around the league. So I know a lot of folks are seeing notifications and tweets and whatnot from, again, league wide. That's it, Cardell, at Capital One for Wizards Media Day. We know how Media Day goes. Been around for quite a few of these. What have you taken from today's?
I mean, the usual optimism for the team. Everybody's trying to gel. For me, I just wanted to just see about the little things because that's the only way they're gonna get better. Focusing on the little things. I'm about the team, organization for that matter as a whole, and from all sides, from all the players, that's what the bright spot has been so far. Most of them have been together. Throughout the summer. Playing playing get-togethers, whether it's in Miami or California or whatnot. Here, most of the team has been here past month. Um, Donald Jr. just came a week earlier prior to today, so he's been able to get in some two-on-two, one-on-one work with the bigs, but not anything formally 5-on-5 yet. Um, the one thing is that they all are harping on is accountability. That A word you always bring up. It's already kind of been established that a lot of little things that you might have gotten away with before, it's not gonna get away with under this new coach, Brian Keith. He's the man. A lot of the vets that they brought in are big on accountability. I know Jonas when he spoke, he went to Keith and told him like, if I mess up, yell at me. It's all good. Coach me. I want to be coached. And if you see the vets getting talked to that way, obviously the youngins gonna have to fall in line because you haven't built them enough sweat equity to even be able to buck the system like this. So, that's encouraging. One thing that Keith and Kuz and Jordan Poole, a lot of the guys have brought up. It's an extremely, extremely versatile team. Very extremely. Like Keith is talking about how he's not going to say which players, obviously, give away early scouting report, but he's also saying he's counting on a lot of players to be able, well, he's giving the green light to a lot more players to be able to get the board and initiate the offense, break it up. You see what I'm saying? And, he said that's something that they haven't had in the past, especially last year. You kind of could dictate who's going to get the ball, whether it was Kuz or Denny when he was here before he was traded, or, Poole. You kind of knew the usual suspects, but this now, it's a totally different ball game, and I love that. I love versatility, as you know. I feel like as a basketball player, if you're not versatile, to me, you're not really working on your game. I don't care what side you are. You should be able to do a lot of different things on the floor if you're really working on your game and trying to get better. And that's what they've been harping on as far as up and down the roster. A lot of guys are that. Not to mention that it's a lot of athleticism on the team, a lot of speed. They're going to play faster than they did last year, which makes it all the more important for guys to be able to push the ball from different positions and stuff and make the right reads. And right now, obviously, that's a work in progress because we haven't even had a full team of everybody just play yet. And we're gonna see throughout preseason how they progress in that area. But with that being said, you know, it's a lot of positive signs. Obviously, they know they got a lot of work to do, and a lot to prove. They're not coming in here like, yeah, man, you know, feeling themselves, or they just taking it one day at a time. Right now, you can just tell the mood is we're here to work, and that's all that matters right now. As long as we work, be accountable, stick together, they're gonna build steps towards winning, and that's what that's all you can ask for as you continue to progress year after year.
Again, it's refreshing to hear, my favorite word uh, brought up this early. And obviously, anytime a team, no matter the sport, we know where they're at. Trying to rebuild, man, is not retool, but rebuild. We know where they're at. And, when you go to do that in the right way, it's a process. It's legitimately a process. And I'm happy that it seems like, at least to me, I know one of the things I look for is that there's something that seems learned from whatever, once you hit ground zero to year one, to year two, to year three. That said, some of the guys we know that we've seen that, last year was almost like a tale of two seasons for some players to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
and we saw how it ended. And then we kind of see it really continuing in full for the first time this year, like you mentioned with the head coach with Keith and whatnot, because that
Right.
there was a change towards the end of the season once he became the interim head coach and whatnot. That
Right.
said, you mentioned I wanted to ask you about Bilal. He's kind of like the first guy in the first draft pick in his new regime.
Mm.
We know what they just drafted this year. That said, what did you have any insight from him today?
Yeah. One, he's grown 2 to 3 inches. He came in about 6'6". He said he's 6'9" now. I know he's listed at 6'8", but that's without shoes. With shoes, 6'9". And he clearly looks it. And then, as soon as he walked in, we like, yo, whoa, everybody's like, oh, whoa, come on now, what the heck? So he's grown, and that's why when young players get drafted high, you have to be patient. They're not you know filled out prospects, so to speak. They're not finished product. They need time to grow, and it's not just IQ and skill physically because you don't know what they can be. Um, you know what I mean? And you clearly see a totally different animal. And I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? Now, from 6'6", 6'6" to 6'9", 6'8", 6'9". I know they list, but he's legit 6'9" now. And that's a totally different game. So now he can be even more of a beast on the defensive end. He can guard more positions. Obviously, with the youngest, but he's only gonna get savvier. It's just a matter of him, just like every player, just staying healthy and continue to build. You know what I mean? And it's no reason to expect that he's not going to continue to do those things, man. You know what I mean? So that's very encouraging. That makes you, it definitely helps to get bigger, get taller and longer, especially in this game. So, it was a great sign. Poole, I know Poole mentioned him, him and, Poole Michigan boys, you know what I mean? So, got the same representation. And, Kuz mentioned that last year, when Pooh got here, he wasn't the Jordan Pooh that he's known for years. He was kind of more to himself, kind of staying off, and all that, filling himself out. And you got to be understanding a new situation coming from Golden State, the circumstances and how he left Golden State, trying to get acclimated to a new team, new system, new coach. And think about it, for the first time in his life, he's losing at a crazy rate. You know what I mean? Like, Warriors not used to losing, since he's in the league. They used to contending. It's a totally different ball game. So that's an adjustment. But I think Kuz said you saw the real the Jordan who he's always known come out back during the summer, because he's more comfortable with the coaching staff. I think he feel like he's being more utilized in the way he feels best to maximize his game. And it shows. And like he was kind of the one setting up all of those team get-togethers to play and pick up and get to know one another. He was kind of the leader in that. So that's an encouraging sign, man. So, and we all saw the difference. Like, we not gonna sugarcoat it, man. Most of the season, he was pretty bad. Let's call it what it is. He came in wanting to play one way, but I think when Keith took over, he not only got to him and toned him down, so to speak, because he was just some of his decision making shots was just wild. But he put a lot of responsibility in his hands to force him to chill out, which is what a lot of coaches do at every level. Like, I'm gonna put the ball in your hands and you play, mate. So now, if we don't get there, you're a big reason why we don't get there. So now it forces the player out to fall back. And then he balled the second half of the season, last end of the season when he was a point guard. He balled, man. You can't even knock it. He was moving good decision making, great shot selection. He was better as a team defender. Still the way we go in that area, but he's better as a team. He just looks totally different. And like sometimes as a player, you know what the hype was when he came out. Man, he gonna lead the league in scoring on. Sometimes you gotta give up certain things to get more back. And you can tell him he threw that mentality away and more so look to make everybody else better. And then he got his easier. It's funny how that works. So, obviously more and more, although young, more influx of talent on the roster. I still expect his game to kind of continue that trend from what we saw at the end of the season. It's just a matter of getting the young guys on the same page, and then that's going to take time. But, from all accounts, they're saying they've been working. They just workers. And these are coming from the vets. So the vets are saying that I believe it.
Yeah, and talking about the vets, it's, you, Ray, myself, talked for the last couple of years about how much of a need it is in this current NBA to have vets on teams. How do you like the current setup with this roster? Obviously, we know we got a ways to go in terms of we find out the final roster, but they added some vets to the team, like you mentioned, JV, Brogdon, super vet. You these are guys that, like, if you look up vet in the dictionary, these guys literally fit every, check every box. But your thoughts on how they kind of padded this roster, at least on the front end, with these vets, with all these talented youngsters?
Well, I saw it in the backcourt. Obviously, Malcolm Brogdon, I'm a big Malcolm Brogdon fan. I covered him in college. He's always like the ultimate professional, even going back then. When he was ACC Player of the Year, UVA, they actually played. They played here at GW with Anthony Gill. They was on the same team. A lot of people don't know that. And GW got that upset. They were like ranked 6th in the country, and GW got that upset. Beat them. Malcolm Brogdon was amazing in the game. Him and Gill, they were clear. Feeling just they were kind of like the only two that did their thing. GW got him up out of it, but I love what he brings, man. You know what I'm saying? Just professionalism, understanding how to play, and he's gonna speed up the learning curve for especially guys like Bud. Coming in as a rookie, Bud Carrington, he even helped Jordan Poole. Like you gotta understand, he's a 9-year vet. Brogdon is, but that's after 4 or 5 years of college. You see what I'm saying? So he's super good. So he's gonna help. He's gonna help in that regard. That's what I think. I'm pretty sure he's one of the players that Coach Keith was talking about as far as being able to get the rock and initiate on a given notice. Even Keyshawn, you know what I'm saying? I think he's going to be one of those guys to be able to push the ball, him and the ball and all that. Just over the decision making and everything. But the one thing he harped on was 2 things that stuck out to me with what he said. He's brought here to get paint touches. He's greater than Brogdon is. And obviously, we know he can score, he can finish. So you got to pick your poison. But if he make the right reads, offensively, we know what the Wizards have. Offensively, it really wasn't the problem. It was on the other end and playing together. They got a lot of guys that can eat you up from the outside. You see what I'm saying? Or the bigs rolling or popping out mid-range, rolling for dunks, lob plays and stuff because they're more athletic. You look at Saw through the volley, Keyshawn, he can go get it. And by big Valanciunas, he can go get it. And then another thing Barton spoke on was the regime. The general manager, the president, all that stuff like that, how they've been spending money in the right ways, the little details to make sure that the organization is up to par. Like he said, like he said he just got here, a while ago doing a trade throughout the summer. Dawkins and all them going to him like, yo, come and check out the weight room. What do we need? Like, tell me what we need for y'all to maximize your game. And just getting his input on that, going in the kitchen, seeing the right foods. Obviously, Brogdon, I played for 5 NBA teams. I've been in the league 9 years. It ain't like this everywhere. Now, the youngest, they don't know anybody. They think it's all like this. You see what I'm saying? But every team don't invest in those little details to make sure that the players have everything they need where when they come to work, they can just focus on their job instead of like, damn, man, we ain't got no damn water, dog. I'm trying to get my bench up. I'm feeling kind of weak. I got to get stronger. We ain't got the right plates. We ain't got, like, we need more machines, bro. It's just, they're eliminating any excuse. And I love that. They're eliminating any excuse. So if you're not doing your job as a player or whatever, after a while, it'll be time for you to go if you don't change things. And that's encouraging because that hasn't always been, no disrespect, that hasn't always been the Wizards' reputation, you know what I'm saying, as far as investing in the little details to help the players maximize their games and ultimately help the team maximize their potential overall. It just hasn't been the case. So to hear Brogdon say that, I love that. Valanciunas, funny, straightforward dude, man. Just it's clear what his role is. He's on that list of Wizards killers. Every time you see him, he's like, damn, no, he's gonna be bad. We know one thing that the Wizards struggled mightily at last year was rebounding the ball. He's gonna clean that up right away. One thing he's also great at, setting screens. And the last time we had a center that was great at setting screens, great things happen. And with the playmakers that they have, as far as being able to handle the ball, make pass, and score, he's gonna be vital. And he's gonna be good for Sarr to help him understand how to set the proper schemes and roll Marvin Bagley as well. You know what I mean? Just the little things that can help whatever unit's on the floor gel, and it's a consistent It's a consistent look of high impact basketball, no matter who's in the game, and that's why you need vets. Plus, we know Valanciunas can pop out and shoot, man. He can hit threes, he can hit mid range from it. Like he's a big dude, man. He's a load, man. 7 feet 270, and ain't just walking around on the street. So and that wears you down as you go. You know what I mean? And even like he mentioned, it's not just setting screens. It's what type of screen you set and the angles you set the screen, depending on who has the ball. You know what I'm saying? Some guards like to get down here and get to the basket. You got to set it at a certain angle. You got to be quick on the screens. Some dudes want to come off and shoot. So you got to be wide on the screen, another different angle. It's the little things that they have to get in the gym and learn one another. And then once they learn one another, they'll be executed once, it's go time against the opponents, man. So, yeah, man, that's why it's encouraging. But, we're going to see in the preseason and training camp real quick. You know what I mean? Because the season about to start very soon. So, definitely encouraged by that.
Yeah. Again, music to my ears, hearing somebody break down the types of screens being set. Because, another one of my big pet peeves is so many people running offenses in basketball on so many levels where people it's double team instead of a screen. Nobody touches anybody. Nobody makes any contact. You got bad defenders looking like great defenders because, excuse me, let me trap the ball.
They don't have to worry.
Right. And again, you bringing up JVs. Another example, we just talked about Brogdon. There's literally like examples, like tangible examples for the young bigs on the roster, for the young guards and whatnot. You talked about, preseason coming soon. Before we get to some of these comments and get out of here, what are some things you're looking forward to that you want to see at preseason, ahead of the first game or whatnot? I know we'll get going, in the coming week or whatnot.
Definitely got something on the defensive, man. I got to see it from jump to believe it because I'm not one of those guys where you could just feel like you can turn it on. In the regular season, I definitely want to see a different type of intensity on that end, and a more of a collectiveness amongst whoever's out there. We know the vets not gonna play a lot. They might play a quarter, some get the rest, but especially with the young guys, we just need to see that, man. And also, I just want to see the versatility of the roster. I want to see it be displayed. Like, this is the time to kind of make me say, I get everybody's position within the team is different. Some guys they're straight. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in the first round picks, they're straight. You got guys that are two ways and stuff trying to earn their keep. And you got guys trying to crack the roster. I get it. But at the end of the day, man, how you make the roster is show them that I can help this team win at the end of the day. So it works in your favor to make sure you're playing well on both ends of the floor. And that might not just be about scoring. Like, you might be like, get 8 assists to play lockdown defense. I'm pretty sure they'll like that. Some of the higher ups. You see what I'm saying? Just to impact winning. I'm not one of these teams I'm not one of these dudes that just, man, they're going to be trash. You got to wait and see. You know what I mean? They have play in positions for a reason. So if you look at this roster and who they brought in, especially if the young guys grow up at a respectable rate, why shouldn't you look to this team to be a top 10? Now, some of the vets they were cautious about jumping ahead. They kind of looking at it right now. I like what Valanciunas said. Guy asked a question about, y'all not going to make the playoffs. So they really kind of went there and said, you're not going to make it. And he was professional, but he was just like, nah, man, I'm a competitor. I came here to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're going to win 50, 60 games, but we should definitely compete. He's adamant. One thing we're not going to do is if we're down at halftime, down at the end of 3, we're not going to quit and give up. And a couple of players hopped there that Kisper and all them, and team going 10-1. We saw it, and the game was over. No fight. It was just, all right, whatever. He said, yeah, we definitely not going to do that. We going to fight. Because he said, Cruz, I think, talked about as well. He says way too many possessions in this game with the pace for you to just quit and think you can't get back in it because you can get right back in it and win the game. And, one thing Brogdon said is our job is just to help the young guys grow and take the next step and try and get this organization back to a winning place. But then it's our job to close these games out late because the youngins just don't have that experience to do so. You guide them throughout the game, help us stay afloat, make an impact, but when it's winning time, that's our time as vets. And it's on us to bring the win home. And they have enough vets with enough experience and the game and talent to do so. What was the? I mean, we could look at the standings from last year. What was the 8, 9, 10 seed? Weren't they below 500 for the most part?
I want to say they are.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you. I know they was historically bad last year. Don't get me wrong, record wise and all that, but I mean, you can't be moving around 500 with the pieces that they added with the talent that they have on this roster. You know, just overall, can't be close to 500. That's not far fetched to me. And if you're around that, you should be competing for a play-in spot. So you know, of course you're going to get negative minded people, but that's what the preseason is going to show. And but for them to get there, they gotta defend and rebound. And if they're not going to do that, then yeah, it's going to be more of the same.
Yeah, to your point, two of the teams in the Eastern Conference that made the play-in were under 500.
My point exactly. So it's not within reach, man. They should be between 35 and 42 wins with the roster that they have in the talent. That's not some far-fetched, unrealistic expectation if they're healthy. You see what I'm saying? And the thing is, I said all this, and I ain't mentioned Sadiq Bey, Jared Butler, who played well today, Rashawn Holmes, Marvin Bagley didn't come. I mean, he didn't speak today. Vucevic, Johnny Davis ain't brought them up. Like, come on, man. It's a lot of pieces that I didn't even bring up. So Chief has a lot of options, and preseason should be ultra competitive because, I mean, as I just said, certain guys are fighting not just for their spot on the roster, spot in the rotation, minutes, all that. Like, people don't realize Corey Kisper's in a contract year. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a big year for him. It's different. We all know how most players in this contract year, they hoop. They hoop. So, it's an encouraging sign, man. Just ready for the games, the preseason games begin, obviously. And then that'll tell the tale kind of going into the regular season.
For sure. Definitely looking forward to it. We had a couple comments before we get out of here. Start with Big J52. Definitely looking forward to actual player development in our hometown. Be more homie and Bud.
Oh, for sure. If y'all follow us, y'all know I've been a big advocate for Bud since he was in high school. Like I never see him going one and done, obviously, until he got the pit start going to work. Then, like, all right, it's realistic. But, high school, I was always high on him. I felt like he was underrated, I guess because he didn't play for the political game with the quote-unquote certain AAU teams and to push him out there. He did play for a great high school program, St. Francis, up in B-more, whatnot, man. I just like his mentality, man. One, he loves the game. He's a worker, and he's tough. And I don't mean physically tough. You got to be mentally tough, too. That's more important. And whatever's in your mind, the physical will follow anyway. But he's tough. So now, even what he did at Pitt, how he shared his versatility. You got to understand, he was running point. Then when Jalen Lowe emerged at Pitt, he shared the backcourt with him and didn't miss a beat. Still was love. And that speaks volumes. That's how he wants to play now as a rookie with all these pieces that got, especially in the backcourt. He's going to float between being a primary ball handler and then playing off guard. And you still got to make plays. You still got to defend. You still got to get stops. And then that's a testament to just being a great all-around basketball player, man. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand why so many guys are just pigeonholed to, first of all, these days, one end of the floor. And one way of being an impact player on the floor, which is just scoring. Man, great players. And this is from a guy who, I got after defensively. The guys that gave me the hardest problems are the dudes that I had to worry about doing a lot of everything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, he might cut back door with me well when he moves well on the ball, on the pass, he can get the rebound, he can defend, he's good to it. It's like I got to keep worrying about him. I can't take my eye off him. You know what I'm saying? Where a lot of guys are just one dimensional. They not scoring, they give you nothing. They not getting shots, they give you nothing. Like, he's not like that. He's gonna be annoying for the opposition in a good way. So, I'm encouraged by him. And one thing I also, with the mental toughness and him playing at home, I think he has the toughness to block out, the circle, so to speak, when it's time. Like, this is my job. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Let me be coached, let me grow as a player and all that. And the homies and stuff coming around, he can block that all out, still focus, because a lot of young players can't, especially as young as he is. You gotta understand, he gotta be a soft. He's supposed to be a sophomore in college, legit sophomore too. See what I'm saying? So a lot of kids can't even handle it in college. That spotlight and stuff like that. So I'm loving his potential, man. And he got some great vets to learn from for sure.
And Marco Hamlin, appreciate you too. But yeah, man, look, we'll check in with you guys as training camp and preseason go on. Happy to get the first officially now the media days out the way. And if it's going to be competitive as you just mentioned, looking forward to each and every preseason game, man. Let's watch everyone get in here and get after it. Appreciate you, Cardell, and we'll talk to you all soon.